Morning everybody. Another boring story from life on the run. Hey dear.
What have you been doing down here?
Why do you want to watch this channel? We hardly go anywhere, do we?
No.
We're real boring. I keep watching all these travel channels. I know Skylight back of my hand. All right.
No. Well, pencils have just fallen out at cupboard.
Are they down there?
Yeah, they're still. I'm
Oh,
still
wait a
picking them
minute.
up.
Wait
You're
a
all
minute.
right. You're all right. I've got
I just opened cupboard door and all blooming
pencils.
all my pastel pencils all flew out of cupboard all over the place. So Pat's busy tidying it all up. Well, it's a lovely day today. Although it was a nice day yesterday, and we walked into the village. I won't tell you what we did. I didn't. But it was very nice. Anyway, this is his last day here today. I haven't been working on that drawing for 2 days. Is it 2 days? I don't know. Yeah, 2 days, because we went to Clitheroe, and then yesterday we were out. So need to do some more work on it today. You're back to the 1966 then. You're in the army. Well, I don't know about now, but in them days your life were ruled by Part 2 orders. Part 2 orders were a list of things that were on a notice board every night, and when you finished work you walked straight down to the board to see whether your name were on there, in trepidation, because it was some rotten lousy duty or other that you'd got your name, that got you down for, and guard duty. I hated guard duty. Guard duty meant from 6, at 6 o'clock you had to be at the guard room. 6 o'clock at night you had to be at the guard room. So you had your tea after work, got changed into I don't know what, I can't remember what they call it.
Fatigues.
No, it was, I don't know. And when you went on parade outside the guard room, got inspected. They were obsessed with inspections, what I know. And then you got your stag, what they called your stag. There were 3 stags: first stag, second tag, and third stag. And the second stag was murder. It was 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12. That was the first stag. And then it was 12 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6. So if you got the middle stag, you were on 8 till 10, and then 2 till 4, wasn't it? Middle at night, you know. Yeah, I used to hate it. Anyway, you walked the duty. It was ludicrous. You walked round the tank hangers with a pick elf. You were supposed to, if anybody decided to nick a tank, you were supposed to stop them with your pick elf. So it was just a way of keeping you down, really, and keeping you in your place. So you just walked round the tank hangers for 2 hours. I knew every star in the sky. Well, one night I did something which, if I'd have been caught, I would have definitely been in trouble. What I decided to do one night was in the hangars. I don't know whose hangars there were, because we only had tanks, but there were personnel carriers, which were an armoured vehicle on tracks, and all it were two long seats on either side with cushion, long cushion on for squaddies to sit on when they were being transported on scheme. So one night I took an alarm clock with me and I set it for 5 minutes before my stag ended, and climbed inside this personnel carrier and got my head down. If I'd have been caught, being asleep on duty were a real crime. But I went to sleep and the alarm went off, and it echoed round the inside of this personnel carrier. It's all metal, you know. It sounded deafeningly loud, and I'm groping about because it was pitch black, and I were hard and fast asleep, and I woke up, whoa, and I'm groping about for this alarm clock to turn it off, because if anybody heard it, it went dead. Anyway, I gingerly poked my head. I don't know why I gingerly poked my head out the door after all that racket. Anyway, there was nobody there, so I got away with it. But I never did it again after that.
Freaked myself to death.
Yeah, I did freak myself to death. Anyway, it's getting on now to October, and I get my first leave, and you go home on leave for 3 weeks. And I had a flight, an army flight, Plummet Airlines again, and train up from London, to get from Heathrow to London, and then all I seem to be going from King's Cross to St Pancras. I think, Waterloo, King's Cross going north. I think so, I don't know, can't remember. But you had to go to another station to go south and go back to go north. And it always made me laugh when I got back to Leeds. I remember standing at a bus stop. Pat's putting all my pens in a pretty little bag.
It says, "Hello, you are beautiful."
You are, darling.
Hello, beautiful. It's for your pens.
Yeah, for my pens. Yeah, I remember standing at the bus stop in Leeds, and I got up bus, and there were these kids up bus, and they had a Yorkshire accent, and I hadn't heard it. I hadn't heard it for that long. It just made me smile. Anyway, I met up with Ken while I was at home on leave, and we'd go out together. And eventually, I had a date organised for a pair of us.
How did you do that? From home?
Not from home.
Well,
I'd been home. I were home for 3 weeks. I'd already been home a fortnight.
All right.
I'd been home a fortnight, and I'd arranged, and we went to meet these lasses on this date, but they never turned up. Or if they did, they took one look at us and run like hell. So we went to Mecca, but not the Mecca, the old Mecca in the arcade. This was new Mecca in Merrion Centre. I don't think it was as good. Do you think it was as good, Pat?
No.
No, I don't. Didn't have the atmosphere that the old Mecca had. Anyway, me and Ken were scouting for girls as usual in Mecca. And who did we see but two girlies playing cards in the Mecca? I've never seen such a thing. Well, we had an agreement.
A dance hall, weren't they?
A dance hall. And there's two lasses playing cards at this table. Well, we had an agreement, did me and Ken, that I always got lit list. Unfortunately, the lit list was the prettiest in this case. So I asked this little girlie for a dance and she said she couldn't dance. And I said, neither can I. Come on. And I dragged her onto the stage, onto the floor, and we danced. And that was Pretty Pat.
Me!
Now, do I tell them what I did?
Oh, you were a naughty boy.
I tried to put my hand up a kilt in the Mecca. No.
No way. Get up.
Yeah. But anyway, we danced in the Mecca. Oh, these horrible little tiny spiders. And I walked her to the bus stop. And do you know something? This is the truth. I said to Pat at the bus stop, it always reminded me of that song Bus Stop by Ollie's. I told her I was going to marry her. I said, I'm going to marry you.
You gave me a bag of sweets?
I did. I gave her a bag of sweets. And I said, I want them back. So meet me tomorrow at the Merrion Centre. And you can give me them back tomorrow. I did. And that night I never slept. Because I thought, what if she don't turn up? I had no idea where she lived. I just put her on the bus. And I think your mate says you're never going to meet him again.
Oh yeah, my friend, yeah. She said, oh, don't go meet
he's
him.
horrible.
He's horrible. He was drunk. Don't go meet him. You're not going to meet him, are you?
Well, I went at the appropriate time and there's this girlie standing there in a camel coat and she's got long blonde hair hung down in ringlets and she's stood there all shy looking, and when she sees me she cocks her head to one side and smiles and says hello, and I just melted. I just, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, and we went to see Swiss Family Robinson at the pictures, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was his first date. Yeah, second date, I'm afraid.
Well,
I'll let me send down.
Same night.
Same night.
Same day,
We went to see Swiss Family Robinson in afternoon. A nice, sweet little film with Jane Asher. And at night, I took her to see Sex in the Long Grass. Oh, God.
I couldn't watch that film. My
Oh.
head was down all the time.
Oh, God. Puritan Pat watching Sex in the Long Grass. Oh, anyway.
I was only 15.
I know. I was horrible. And we borrowed my dad's car, didn't we? And we had a week together.
Yeah.
We did.
You went back.
And then I had to go back. That was painful. I had to go back to Germany. And we promised to write to one another. And that was another bone of contention. Because I wrote to Pat every day. All that time I wrote to Pat every day. But Pat won't write to me every day.
I know what to write about.
She sent me into spirals of depression when she didn't write. It was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. And at Tracy's, right now at Tracy's, there's a box. And in that box are more than 300 letters. All those letters that rewrote to one another from November 1966 to, well, I know we got married in 68 and you came out there. But then when, I'm going forward a bit, anyway, there were more than 300 letters in that box and we've still got them. When I retired, I spent months going through them all, and I put them all in order, and I wrote them in a book, transposed all the letters into a book in date order so that you could read the story. And I suppose what you don't realise was that there was no mobile phones. The only way you could communicate was by letter. Even if I wanted to make a phone call, I had to book a phone call a week in advance, and it was in a cubicle up at the Roundhouse, which was like a huge shopping place and a cafeteria. I used to have to book 3 minutes a week in advance and go up, and I had to write to her and say, be by the phone at such and such a time on such and such a night. And then I'd sit there and wait for my turn to go in to this cubicle. And she never had out to say, she would never say out. I used to come out of that booth. Oh!
Yeah, but you've got to remember, in them days, it were a phone that were your main phone in house, and it were in the hall. And everybody in the downstairs could hear you, what you were saying. So you had to be careful what you said, because it annoyed people that I were actually communicating with him, didn't it?
Well, it did, yeah. Yeah, it was
a bone of contention.
a struggle and a fight. Yeah, it was. It was a very tortuous period. Yeah, but that's in the future. We'll come to that. I think that's about long enough now. We'll see how long I've taken for that. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.